Shut up and sit down.
Oh, you can't beat a nice cup of tea. Anyway, how are you doing, peeps? It's a cold, very wet, rainy, miserable day out there, so I thought I'd do a video from home. So yeah, pretty shitty weather. Anyway, what I'll do is, to start with, I'll answer some of the questions that you've sent me. So, a really original one to start with. What's my favourite colour? Well, seeing as though black's not a colour, I'll have to say blue. I do like blue. Old man Tony says, I'd like to know more about your artwork, the kind of stuff you do, and what are your plans for your masters. My artwork. That's a difficult one. My mind flits from thing to thing, so I don't actually have a specific niche that I can fit into, but I do love sculpture. In fact, I'll show you a few images just now. Just here. These are some of the things that I did on my BA Honours degree, and some of the things that I do like to do. Some were controversial, and as for my masters, I'm starting University of York in September, doing my digital film and television production masters degree, so that's where I am at the moment. Next question is, why are you always changing cameras? I'm presuming you mean my vlogging cameras. I was always a drift person, and I really enjoyed and liked using drift. Specifically the Drift Ghost S. Since they stopped, Drift Innovation that is, since they stopped selling that or providing any backups or updates for it, I found it really difficult to get on with them, and then my Drift S, Ghost S packed up. There wasn't helpful at all. I had a lot of arguments with drift. So that was my camera of choice, but now I've gone on to the Center Prism tubes. You don't get a lot of battery life out of them, you probably get about an hour and a half, but they are brilliant cameras, so easy to use. You just slide that forward to record, slide it off, that's it. Really do like these. I've got a couple of these, so I swap them, which extends my battery life, and then put one on charge while I'm riding. I do still have my Drift Stealth, which I do use quite a bit, but yeah, I keep changing cameras because I'm trying to find a camera that'll offer me full HD. I'm not right bothered about 4K. I might upgrade to 4K at some point. Shooting HD, good sound quality. I want something with really good audio. The Center Prism tube's not fantastic, as you can tell by my videos. It picks up a lot of noise, background noise. But the main thing for me is ease of use. I don't want something where I've got to click and go through menus and fart about. Just on, off. That's why I went with Prism tube. Fazda271 says, if you weren't lucky enough to live so close to the sea, what sort of landscape anywhere in the world as a biker would you prefer to be? That's a difficult one, because I'm Yorkshire born and bred. I absolutely love Yorkshire, and I think it's got some fantastic riding roads, but the weather's crap and the roads are crap. So where would I be? What landscape? A preference would be a hilly, wooded landscape. That's where I'd like to live. As a biker, somewhere warm, where we can actually rely on the weather, and where the roads aren't littered with potholes, because potholes are absolutely terrible. Councils do not keep up with the roads. It's awful. So yeah, wooded landscape, somewhere warm, sunny, with nice weather. I think it'd have to be San Francisco, California, on the outskirts. It's hilly, it's woody, they've got some great roads and some fantastic riding all around. Yeah, I think that's where I'd like to be. John Doe says, not even with milk, fizzy energy drink. Now, unless I go back and watch the video, I have no idea what that relates to. But yeah, I like fizzy energy drinks. Milk, I do like milk, but it doesn't agree with me. What's your favourite bike you've had? Again, a hard one. My favourite was the XVS 1100, the silver one that I did Simerdin Rally and the Cornwall trip on. Really liked that bike, but the bike that's closest to my heart has to be my Bandit 600 hardtail chopper. This is a picture of it here. It was a bag of shite, it broke down, it set on fire, and it really hurt to ride, especially on these roads, but I loved it to bits. I wish I'd have kept that. What's the worst part about being bipolar? Now, those of you who don't know, I am bipolar and I'm always talking about it, and mental health and everything else, so sorry if it gets on your nerves, but it's very close to my heart. Worst part about being bipolar is, see, the depression and everything that goes with that, and I'll freely admit a lot of it, there was a lot of suicidal thoughts there. I can cope with that. What I find hardest is what I call my addictions. It's where I'll get an idea in my head, usually for something to buy, a hobby or something like that, and it overwhelms me. It's 24/7, I can't get rid of it. It's always there, and it ruins my life because I become so focused on this one thing. It might be just something I saw on TV, it might be a new hobby. It can be anything, and it's really hard to describe. Day and night, it's in my head, and I can't stop. And usually it costs me a lot of money. And once I've got that thing, then it stops. Like for instance, when I was with Sarah, a really good friend of mine, we used to live together and whatever, I got into my head that I wanted to do paragliding. So I spent thousands of pounds on all paragliding gear, courses. I started flying, but then it just stopped, bang, gone. I had no interest in it whatsoever, and I was left with all this stuff, thousands of pounds worth of gear. That's how it works. I get fixated, and I can't let go until I've achieved it. But once I've achieved it, my interest goes completely. That's the worst part about bipolar, I think, because it cost me a fortune. I'd have a lot better bikes and a lot more bikes if I didn't have that. How many bikes have you had? I have no idea. I'd say over my lifetime about 30, but I did do a video recently where I counted up the bikes I've had over the last 3.5, 4 years, and I think it was about 14. Yeah, I swap and change my bikes about as much as everybody changes their undies. Not really. Pardon me. Finding fun? Blah blah blah. I've no idea what that pertains to, but yes, I do go on a bit. I did get another message. Why don't you shut the fuck up? Because I like talking, and if you want to leave comments like that, feel free, but I'm not going to answer you. What's the weather like right now? Like I said earlier, it's peeing it down, it's windy, it's not so cold, but it's just generally miserable. Yeah, well, that's it for questions and answers, so thanks for asking me those. I hope I've answered them to the best of my abilities. But on a different note, speaking of videos and me doing questions and answer, I got a new subscriber. Totally forgot who he was. Let me just see if I can find him. Go to notifications and see if they're there. Right, was it him? Nope, wasn't him. See if it was him. Videos. Nope, wasn't him. That's it. A guy called Paul. YouTube channel is all about motorbikes. He's only got 2 videos up there, but his first one, which I thought is a really good idea, he did it's just under 4 minutes long, and it just tells you about it. It's just him sat on his couch talking about him, what his channel's about or what it's going to be about, and just general stuff. He was just introducing himself, what he'd like to achieve, and just the whole point of it. So yeah, it's turn that off because it's totally blacked me out. Really should take it off auto. Yeah, so I think that's a really good idea. I think if more of us could do an intro, about me type video, introducing yourself, it let us know when we come to meet people who you are, who I am, etc. I mean, you all see me. I put my face on videos, I talk shite and everything else, but But yeah, I think it's a really good idea. So get your little introductions up, your little talking head bits. Tell us about yourself, let us see your faces. Yeah, I just thought I'd mention that, so I think it's a good idea. Bike updates, M800, I'll be fitting side panniers on that. I was going to do it this week, but it's going to be next week now. I need to get some brackets made and some stairs to stop them swinging into the wheel. Then I can swap the hard cases between my Versys and the Intruder. That's it, yeah. I've got my M800 and my Versys. That's all I need at the moment. Thanks for watching this. I know I've gone on a bit, but I'd like to do a giveaway. And my giveaway prize is a Pixpro, Kodak Pixpro 360. It's a 360 camera. It's got a protective lens on. It works perfectly. There's no wrong with it. But you don't get any cables or chargers or out with it. In fact, I can give you the charger because I know where that is. I never use it anymore, but it's a good little camera, full HD, quite heavy. It's got a little LCD display. Obviously that's the 360 lens. You stand it like that and it'll film all the way around like that. So if you want to be in a chance of getting this as a giveaway, obviously you've got to be subscribed, like this video, and put a comment in 360 giveaway. Then I'll randomly choose a name out of the hat. Anyway, that's about it. So thanks for watching, and as always, ride safe, be strong, and I'll catch you all later. Bye for now.
Shut up and sit down.